Hello, es el misterioso Edgar, and I just finished watching WWE SummerSlam 2022. Guys, overall, the show was an absolute success. From the Becky and Bianca match to the Roman and Lesnar match at the end. Now, let's go ahead and run through the match card, give you my match of the night, and let's see which predictions I got wrong. Okay, first match, Bianca versus Becky for the Raw Women's title. Overall, guys, this match was an absolute success. Now, you're going to hear that word a lot, but we sometimes forget of how athletic Bianca is. Man, and did she show it in this match. But keep Becky in the books, though, because Becky is still a veteran of the game. Throughout the whole match, you had a lot of counters, a lot of good power moves from both Bianca and Becky. There was this one highlight of the show that I personally enjoyed, where you had Bianca had Becky on her shoulders. You know, she was going to do the KOD onto the barricade, but Becky reversed it, and then Becky got on top of the barricade and she did like a leg drop. Again, that was my highlight of the match. I think it was pretty good. But overall, this match, you saw Bianca's strength, you saw the expertise of Becky in the ring, and overall, it was absolutely amazing. Now, there was this really good one where Bianca kept at the end, and this is how the match ended. Bianca got Becky in the KOD, and man, it looked like a one-winged angel by Kenny Omega. It's like we were in New Japan all over again. Now, great match. She hit the KOD, 1, 2, 3. And, you know, she got her belt. She was celebrating. It was in her hometown, which, again, that's freaking awesome. Imagine wrestling not only in the WWE, but in front of your hometown. Man, talk about being nervous. But again, overall, this match was great. Now, at the very end of the match, you had Becky and Bianca looking at each other. And I thought Becky was going to attack Bianca. But what ended up happening, Becky took out her hand. She was there waiting. The people in the crowd kept on saying no. But they ended up shaking hands, and then they gave each other a hug. And I think that was pretty cool. So Bianca is still waiting in the ring. I don't know why the camera's still panning on her. Then all of a sudden, Bayley's music hits, guys. And nobody was expecting that. But if you saw my last video, I did say somebody was going to show up. Maybe somebody from NXT. Now, I just said NXT because we had Dakota Kai and Io Shirai. Now, for some reason, if you go to WWE.com, her name is different. It is no longer Io Shirai. It is now Io Sky. So it looks like Bayley set up a faction. I still don't know the name of the faction, but it's Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky. So them three. So they got in the ring, which was a surreal moment. I mean, to see those call-ups in a SummerSlam event, especially right after a match, I think that was pretty cool. So they all three of them It was Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky now, formerly known as Io Shirai. They were in the ring. And they looked at Bianca trying to attack her, but then all of a sudden, Becky got inside the ring. So now it was Bianca and Becky versus Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky. So it looks like they were going to fight, but Bayley told them to get out of the ring. So probably saving up for another feud. So really nice to see Bayley come back. Now, overall, this match was great, especially to kick off the show. So real good treat for the fans. Hometown girl Bianca with a W. Next up, we have Logan Paul defeat The Miz. Yes, you heard that right. Logan Paul defeated The Miz. Now, I got this prediction correct, as well as the Bianca one, so that's 2 for me, because I am the master of predictions. I'm just kidding. Lucky guess, I guess. So this was an overall good match. You can tell Logan Paul has been training. Now, people like Logan Paul, Bad Bunny, and other celebrities have joined several matches. Snoop Dogg, you know, those people that joined, I know Shaq went into an Andre Memorial Battle Royal that one time. Mike Tyson, and other celebrities. Man, you can really tell when the celebrity is really passionate about the business, they do absolutely amazing, especially if they put that time in the gym. We saw that with Bad Bunny. So Logan Paul, absolutely amazing. I mean, you can tell he's been training. Miz, he's been trained by The Miz, and he's putting in that work. So seeing Logan Paul in the WWE ring kind of keeps you wondering who else might jump into that WWE ring. Mr. Beast, it's your turn. Just kidding. I think that would be really cool, by the way. So overall, the match was pretty good. Again, you can really tell that Logan has been practicing and working with the Miz. They do have really good chemistry. So Miz walked out with like a, you know how Logan Paul walked out with like a Pokemon card. This time the Miz walked out like with a picture of himself. It was him, Maurice, and Tommaso Ciampa, now called Ciampa. So again, this was a really good match. So there's one match. Again, a lot of counters, a lot of moves. Yeah. So my favorite part was when Logan put the Miz on the table, and Logan did that Shane McMahon spot where he got on top of the turnbuckle, and he did a 5-star frog splash, or not a 5-star, more like a frog splash from the top rope to the table, which I thought was pretty cool. Man, he did exactly like RVD. You know, RVD would do that thing where he jumped and he kind of like turned in the middle of the air. So, I mean, props to the guy, man. That was my favorite scene. Not favorite scene, my favorite spot of the night for sure. Again, you're doing a great job, man. Keep up the good work. So that was pretty good. Other than that, at the end, it looks like Ciampa was trying to distract the referee, or no, he was trying to hit Logan, I believe, and then the referee saw him, and then the referee did the thing where he like kicked out Ciampa out of the ring. So Ciampa didn't want to leave. He got a chair, he sat down, and all of a sudden AJ Styles' music hits out of nowhere, and AJ Styles did a phenomenal forearm from the barricade, hitting Ciampa, and then while all that was happening, Logan Paul did a phenomenal forearm as well and hit the Miz, and then after that he ended up hitting him with the skull crushing finale for the win. So Logan Paul for the win. So I got this one right, guys. So pretty good. Okay, next up, it was Bobby Lashley and Theory. Now, I had predicted that Theory was going to win, but unfortunately I was wrong. Bobby ended up winning with the Master Lock. I don't know what he calls it now. I think it's a Dominator. So let's click here. Just so I can get the name of the move, guys. And the Hurt Lock. There it is, the Hurt Lock. So he ended up putting in Theory in a Hurt Lock, and he ended up tapping out. But it was pretty good. I'm really a fan of Theory's role, and like drop kicks kind of reminds me of the early drop kicks that Randy Orton used to do. So shout out to Theory. I think you're doing a good job. So I had predicted that Theory was going to win this match, but for whatever reason they ended up losing. But like I said, he still had that Money in the Bank briefcase, which was still keeping him strong. So I mean, as far as this match goes, it was a decent match. Real quick match. All of a sudden, there wasn't really that much about this match. Just Theory losing. So it was an alright match. It was an alright match. Next up, we have the Mysterios versus the Judgment Day, which is Finn Balor, Damian Priest, and of course Rhea Ripley was there. So overall, this match was pretty good. Pretty good. Big fan of Dominic and Rey Mysterio working together in this match. A lot of high-flying moves from Dominic and Rey. Good job by the both of them getting that W. So it was pretty good. As far as anything highlighted, just 619s were pretty good. The frog splashes were good. It was a very beautiful match. I mean, there's nothing really about it. Rhea Ripley was being there. She was distracting Rey and Dominic in the match. So everything was good. So Balor tried to get the steel chair into the match, but Rey caught him by getting the chair, and he ended up doing like a baseball slide under the ring. So it was pretty good. I honestly thought the match was going to end because Finn Balor, hit that missile drop kick to Rey to the corner, and I thought he was going to go with 2 Raw. But Rey ended up doing a Hurricanrana. It was another good match. Hey, man, Rey, for 20 years in the business, he's doing an amazing job. Okay, so yeah, like I was saying, Rhea Ripley got involved, guys, and she kind of tripped the duo because they were about to do the 619. So they had Priest and Finn Balor in the ropes, they're ready for the 619. So as soon as they were getting ready, Rhea Ripley, got their feet, and then they fell. So Balor was trying to get another chair, and then the lights go out, and then who else can it be except the former leader of the Judgment Day, which is Edge. So Edge came out, he ran. Finn Balor and Damian were there in the ring surprise. So Damian Priest was like, "Hey, I got this, bro. I got this." So he went and he's running down the ramp, and then all of a sudden Edge just kicks him in the face. Take that, Damian, and goes into the ring, spears Balor, spears Damian, and then Edge knocks down, I think it was Balor. Yeah. Sent Balor to the ropes, and then they ended up hitting, Ray ended up hitting a 619 for the win. So Edge is back, so we'll see what happens. Might be a 3-on-3 match, maybe? No, that can't be possible. Maybe a 2-on-2 with Ray and Edge, or Dominic and Edge. I think that would be really nice. So, pretty good. Next up is Pat McAfee versus Happy Corbin. Now, going back to what I said about celebrities training, not only training, but being passionate about the business, you saw right away that Pat McAfee has been working his butt off. Now, from not only going to the top rope and doing a suplex, but also doing a moonsault off the turnbuckle to the outside, which I think was absolutely amazing. He almost slipped though, but I didn't stop him. So, overall, this match was great. Pat McAfee won. Now, I thought Pat McAfee was going to come out to the Seven Nation Army. I saw Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes, but he didn't. He came out with his own theme and his own Titantron, which I thought was really cool. You had his choir. There was a choir up there saying Corbin out loud, which I think was really cool. So yeah, it was really cool. So they are former Indianapolis Colts roommates. So they ended up fighting, and then Corbin was talking trash to Cole, but it was nice seeing Cole, saying, "Come on, Pat, come on, Pat." So it was pretty good. Okay. So Corbin was gonna go to the end of race, but McAfee flipped out, and then McAfee slipped and he pushed Corbin to the ref. They were arguing there. The ref fell, and then Pat McAfee hit him with the low blow, a kick to the bottom of the belt, and he ended up he climbed to the top rope and he did a sun flip power bomb and got the pinfall. So before he celebrated with, the people outside the ring. So I thought that was pretty cool, guys. So going back to what I said about celebrities, it looks like Pat McAfee keeps on getting better and better. So shout out to him for doing an amazing job. So my prediction was for Pat McAfee to win, which I was correct. Next up, we have the Usos versus the Street Profits. Now, if you remember, in Money in the Bank 2022, this was the match of the night. And I had said that because of this match being so hyped up, that it wasn't going to be that good. But overall, it was pretty good. Now, you did have Jeff Jarrett as special guest referee, and it just seemed that Montez was kept on getting very upset at Jeff Jarrett. I don't know if there's a storyline there, but he was getting really upset. So, after this match, again, it was pretty good. It went to the outside. You had the Usos working together. You had the Street Profits working together. I don't know why, but there was just something about that match. I couldn't really get into it. I couldn't really get connected like how I did to their Money in the Bank match. Again, I don't know if it's because there wasn't that many near falls. Maybe it seemed a little rush. But Jeff Jarrett was serious in there. He kept on pulling away Dawkins and one of the Usos, being very aggressive with that 5 count, because when they go into the ring, they only have 5 seconds until they get separated. So, so again, this was pretty good. Like I said, Montez looked very upset at Jeff Jarrett, but there were some super kicks going on. They had the Usos did a double splash to Angelo Dawkins, but right at 2.5, when Jeff Jarrett was counting, Ford flew in and stopped the count. Okay. Everyone was knocked out, so Jeff Jarrett started counting, and then all of a sudden, Uso almost hit Jarrett with a super kick. Superman, spine by Dawkins, and went to the ropes, got some super kicks, tossed Montez to the crowd. Look, and then the Usos went back into the ring, and then hit Dawkins with a couple of super kicks, and then the 1D, which I think is a great finisher for the pinfall victory. So, again, there was just something about that match that I couldn't really get into it. But overall, I got the prediction correct. Next up, so you had Cole and Corey talking, then they're not stable. All of a sudden, something happens, and then Riddle runs into the ring. He's not supposed to be there because he's injured. You have these people come in, try to stop Riddle, but he called out Rollins. Rollins came out. I honestly thought Rollins was going to have a match against Randy here, but that was also incorrect. But it's all good. So they're fighting. They're arguing. Rollins ended up getting the advantage, knocked down Riddle, and then he hit Riddle. He hit him with the stomp, which I think was pretty cool. So that storyline's still there, guys. I'm excited to see that match. Hopefully, they end up having a match in the future. Next up, you have Liv versus Ronda Rousey for the SmackDown Women's title. I predicted that for some reason Liv was going to win, and I got the prediction right, so she ended up winning. But there's something about this match, guys. Very uncomfortable watching. In my personal opinion, I just knew Ronda Rousey was going to dominate the match, and I just knew that Liv was going to find a way to win the match in order to prove herself as a champion. So I found it really uncomfortable because, again, Ronda Rousey is a trained, athlete. I'm not, athlete, but like MMA fighter, former women's champion for the UFC. So she kept on putting Liv in all these arm bars, and you just kind of felt bad for Liv in a way, throwing her like a rag doll, basically. Man, she was destroying her. So it was kind of a little uncomfortable watching. Well, I thought it was uncomfortable. And then the only offense I saw was like when she Liv was punching Ronda, but you can tell it's just kind of felt bad for her. But other than that, she survived. She did that real nice cold breaker that I really enjoyed. So that was really nice. But again, a lot of arm bars by Rousey. You can tell Rousey was getting really, really, really aggressive throughout this whole match. But highlight of the match is at the very end, Ronda Rousey had Liv in an arm bar, and what Liv ended up doing, she got up and she kind of used her leverage or weight to put Ronda Rousey a little lower, her lower back, and her shoulders hit the mat. So the ref started counting, but he was looking at her shoulders, but you can see that Liv was tapping. So it was one of those things that she won, but the ref, saw the pin, but she tapped out. So it's one of those things. One of my buddies had a good argument. He said they wanted to keep Ronda strong, but also Liv to retain the belt to make the fans happy. So, and then she was like, look at the replay, and they showed her the replay. So I don't know what's going to happen, but it's a great way to have people watch Friday Night SmackDown. Not sponsored. Not yet. Hopefully soon. But yeah, overall, match is pretty good. Liv won because the ref didn't see her tap out. Next up, we have Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. Oh, and I predicted that Liv was going to win, so got that right. Last match is Roman and Brock Lesnar for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship in the last man standing match. Now, a lot of stuff happened in this match. I want to be honest with you. A lot of stuff happened. It was it was incredible. For a last man standing match, it was absolutely incredible. Well, Roman walks in, the little line tells him to go to the back, walks in with the belts, walks in with Paul Heyman. Brock Lesnar makes his entrance in a tractor. Yes, you heard that right, in a tractor. Now, for some reason, Brock Lesnar brought the tractor all the way to the ring, and he put it up, and then he climbed, and he jumped off of it. He landed on Roman. So the tractor was there the whole time near the ring, and you were just very afraid that one of the wrestlers was going to get hit. But luckily, they moved it towards the end. So yeah, a lot of stuff happening. They went to the crowd. They had a table spots. Very aggressive match. Throughout the whole match, it would look like Brock Lesnar was going to win. But I predicted that Roman was going to retain, and boy, get it right. Although I did get the prediction wrong that Theory was going to cash in. But Theory makes an appearance in this match, but unfortunately does not win, or he doesn't cash in. Like, he goes like this, but the ref never make the announcement that he was going to win. But yeah, a lot of spears, a lot of F5 suplexes. Were a good match. There was a scary spot where I think Brock Lesnar got one of the Usos. I think it was Jimmy. He did that overhead suplex, and it kind of looked like he landed on his head, but luckily he was okay. Paul Heyman went through a table, so that's crazy. That's crazy. So it was pretty good. There was even a point where Brock Lesnar put Roman inside the tractor, or like the thing that holds it, and he kind of like picked it up and dropped Roman into the ring. And then I was like, hey, he's gonna flip over the ring. And oh wait, no, I didn't pick this out. One of my buddies did. So he got the tractor, put it into like the ring, picked it up, and like the whole ring literally got picked up, and like you can see like Roman fall down. Man, this match was insane. I highly recommend you watch it. But then what ended up happening? A lot of spears happening. At the end, the Usos and Roman put a lot of stuff on top of Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar couldn't get up anymore, so Roman Reigns is the winner. He does retain the Undisputed Universal Champion, so it's going to be very exciting who the next contender for the title might be. I wish it could be Shinsuke Nakamura. I think that would be a real good match. But we do have Clash of the Castle happening September 3rd, and I think it's going to be a good show. We do have Drew McIntyre as the number one contender of the match, so you'll see those two fighting it off at Clash of the Castle. Well, guys, that was my review for SummerSlam 2022. Truly appreciate you for stopping by. Again, if you haven't watched the show, I highly recommend it. But other than that, I'll see you in the next one.